Check it out, baby dolls. Welcoming you back to Crypto's Juiciest News. We are looking at the Ethereum Spot ETF, which has just been officially signed off for tomorrow trading. That is the end of Tuesday for Metagana. And when it does appear, we're hoping Wall Street start basically pouring in, but there really is no guarantees when it comes to this, friends. If you look at the Bitcoin price, we have $68,000 and Ethereum still around $3,500, but ETH BTC is still bleeding. But first, let's look at this weekly chart with Bitcoin. We're still at around 68K. We're still stuck in the range. I think I remember seeing Crypto Crew University, shout out to Steve. Steve Abu basically said he's like super bullish if we close a week at $69,000 or higher. I think, I don't know, man, everyone's just playing around with the candle colors, friends. Who knows, man? Who knows? You know, ultimately, that's it. We're just slaves to Mr. Big Market out there. And what's Mr. Big Market saying? Well, Mr. Big Market, let's check him out. Mr. Russell, it popped up through that high, but it has not broken the high yet. We still need it to go another 10%. 10% is that expansion part. Hopefully that comes in the next few months. And if that comes, traditionally, we start to basically open up crypto. All the liquidity buckets are full, and then everything continues from that point. But, you know, if you speak to people out here, can you believe, like, it's so close. They're probably wondering, like, hey, how come I haven't gotten back to my portfolio highs of April 2021. Well, friends, that's just the game of crypto, man. I know it sucks, but look at this. Crypto is only 20% from the all-time high in terms of market cap. Okay, so it peaked at 3 trillion. It's around 2.4 trillion. So, look, just be honest. I'll be honest with you. I'm not saying panic. I'm just telling you, if your portfolio is down more than minus 20% from the all-time high of your number in 2021, you're losing. You're pretty much losing right now. Now, I'm not saying you've lost, just saying you're losing. It's kind of like, you know, it's playing World Cup match. The other team's got possession. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what's happening here. The game's not over. Not saying give up. The strategy can still work. Of course, it can still work. There's been many, you know, crypto, man. Crypto slingshot's hard. We're here to make memes great again for kindness and friendship. But I'm just letting you know this is pretty much how you interpret something like this. Now, obviously, a lot of people will say to me, well, how come, I always got this question, right? How come it's only 20% down lower, but coins like Chainlink are still down 65% lower? Coins like Hex are down 98% lower. Ouch. How come they're all destroyed? Well, as you get to see, friends, you know, like everybody, you want to throw shade at my name, that's okay, man. I don't really care. I'm just here to tell you facts are facts, man. What's the difference between here and here, friends? What's the difference here? Well, the difference is now we have new cycle 1 coins and narratives, okay? And these are now cycle 2. That's what's happened, all right? So that's basically the constituents. So what makes up the total crypto industry? It's change itself, because you can't invest in an index right now. The index is pretty much Bitcoin and Ethereum, and everything else you kind of have to guess if they're going to be relevant or irrelevant. You know, Solana, BNB have done well, but what else? What about the other coins? Cardano destroyed. Heaps of other coins from the top 10. I mean, like Hex made it to the top 10, and then Hex got destroyed, minus 98%. See what I mean? So yes, that's why a crypto index would be very beneficial for the whole industry, because then you basically punt on the whole industry without getting destroyed. The thing is though, by the time they put a crypto index in, it means there's a lot of like tokens in there which probably have a use case, utility, people trust, people know, and by then the volatility is gone. So you're not going to get these big growth rates, and you're here to change your life. And remember, friends, changing your life doesn't just mean hoping for higher prices. It means you still have to do the hard work. We've done all the research. Watch my Ultimate Bull Market Strategy Guide. I've gone through that many times. This is the Ethereum monthly chart. You can see it's at least doing some kindness and friendship. We changed to a weekly as well. We need it to keep going up. Remember, it's Ethereum's 3rd cycle. We have the different fib levels. I just want to remind you, okay, friends, the first fib extension, 7,300 for ETH. If we repeat and we don't diminish from last cycle, we end up around here, $13,000 to $14,000. Okay, this is a non-log linear chart. This is non-log. This is linear chart around here. Okay, so that's pretty much it. We'll learn. This is the exact line if we don't diminish from the previous cycle. And if you've been watching my videos, that is a total distance of a 4x of Ethereum from today. That's if we get there, we don't diminish. I hope, friends, I really hope we do. We obviously blow the diminishing and we go above that. That'd be crazy, but We'll see, because it's getting harder and harder, friends. There's a lot more liquidity, market caps, and everything putting on. You got to ask yourself as well, why would introducing an ETF start to make things go more parabolic than in the past when they have already like hundreds of millions of people in? Okay, just it makes you think about it logically. To go back to that 4x part, so friends, we've got to play some nice pump music as well. If Ethereum has a 4x to go, so I'll just, let's go back to that chart. If Ethereum, friends, has a 4x to go, which is right here, and this is where you go, by the way, I don't know if it does, okay? This is a 4x, okay? It's 300% is 4x. If Ethereum has 4, okay, altcoins, which I'll put A here, altcoins, okay, you're winning altcoins. So the average altcoin will probably do 8. This is the average. So if you have some 8, okay, some are going to do poopy 5. Some are going to do as well, like 16. They're going to do like 20. They're going to do 24. That's the super winners, okay? W for win. All right, so just to remind you, if Ethereum does 4, the average altcoin does 8. Therefore, if you're doing really well, you're going to get a 16x, okay? And you can actually see this from the others versus ETH ratio, which I've charted for you many times, and I'll bring it back for you, which is right here. This is others ETH, okay? This is others ETH. If you don't understand it, I'm not going to bother explaining it. I've explained it 30,000 times for everyone. There's a lot of people. Okay, man, you want to do 15 minutes of crypto research every day? That's not enough, man. We're here 18 hours a day, okay? So look at this, and still not enough, by the way. So here's others ETH ratio, friends. At the top of 2021, you got to this ratio. So what does this 1.14 mean, friends? It means the non-top 10 altcoins were 114% the size of Ethereum's market cap. That's what it is, okay? So right now, they're 58% of the size. See, this is 0.58 up here. So this is the top, right? 1.14. So that's pretty much how it fluctuates. And a lot of these, we found out they do include a lot of Ethereum hater coins in this others index, which is pretty much just all of the things outside of the top 10, okay? So you go back to this. Historically, friends, if you're up here, that's why I did this. Where did I get this 8x from? Look at that. That's a 2x up here. See this? This is a 2x. So what that means is you've done whatever Ethereum does, the average altcoin will probably do around 2. Around 2. By the way, this can screw up. What if Ethereum then becomes a black vortex and sends all the altcoins to 0 and Ethereum accepts everything? Ethereum absorbs everything. That's one possibility. I'm just thinking that possibility is less likely because of what happened in the past cycles, okay? This others ETH has gone up. It's trended up. So if Ethereum does 4, the average altcoin will do 8. Like I say, you're looking for the unicorns. Everyone believes they've got one. We'll see who wins by the end. Now, as we move through that Ethereum ETF approval coming, friends, we're waiting for, let's see if Wall Street like it. People are expecting like 10% of the Bitcoin volume. Remember, Ethereum is more thin. And as well, CNBC, friends, are also talking about.
And so, yeah, he's going to speak very positively about Bitcoin here at the conference.
Do you think that these favorable comments could go so far as to indicate that he'd be open to it being a reserve currency for the U.S.?
Yeah, so there were some rumblings of that on X this week. It could be something that's very difficult to get done, but it is possible. The Justice Department holds about 200,000 units of Bitcoin.
There you go, friends. So that's pretty much it. So the Justice Department, they hold 200,000 Bitcoin, and Donald Trump, the Don is going to speak at the Bitcoin conference, right? July 25, July 27. And then Elon Musk changed his eyes to laser eyes, the Bitcoin laser eyes, plus his private jet landed in Tennessee. Yee-hee, Tennessee. Shout out to everybody in Tennessee, by the way. I love every single one of you. So there's all these basically puzzle pieces and stuff moving around. People are thinking, wow, there might be an actual announcement of the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. What does that mean? It basically means government will want them to print money and then add it to the balance sheet of sorts. But they already own 200,000 Bitcoin. It's almost 1% of the total supply. It's about 1% of the Bitcoin supply. So that's huge, right? 1% of Bitcoin supply. And yeah, all they might commit to just not selling it. So not selling it might be considered like a hodl. By the way, that's big marketing. So think about every other country, by the way. If America, the US of A, Americana, North, South, West, and East Americana, if they're actually saying that they're going to keep Bitcoin on the balance sheet, it basically automatically tells the German government, well, you're a bunch of PB heads. Everybody sells you a bunch of PB head. If it's good enough for America, if it's their asset that they're holding, just like gold, why aren't you holding it? committing to some of it. That's the type of like speculation we need. That's why we maybe if we do, hopefully friends, we do get this $200,000, $250,000 Bitcoin, the types of news we'll be seeing at that top. Okay, you're not gonna see that good news now. You're gonna see it at the top, and it'll be coming in the forms of like, hey, 3 countries have now adopted Bitcoin, and they might even think about Ethereum. Like that's the type of things that'll be popping out. They're all gonna be classic top signals, but we'll see. So here was that news for the Ethereum ETF, right? SEC signs off on spot Ethereum ETF for trading. What are the expectations? Well, like, I'm not saying it's going to repeat again, but when the Bitcoin ETF happened, we dropped 20% and then we went up 90%. So from 20% from the Ethereum ETF here, and when it was basically after it approved, it was down 20% from the high. So I don't know if it got to, like, you don't know when to measure these. Let's say they dropped 20%, 2,700. It might be unlikely to do that, but you never know, man. It's crypto. And then it rallies up, what, 90%? That's like $5,000 Bitcoin, $5,000 Ethereum, sorry. Or it just goes up 90% from up this point. That's $7,000. So we're looking at around the next leg, 5 to 7K, 5,000 to 7,000. And a lot of coins are leverage on Ethereum, but a lot of people don't know what that means. It's slingshot leverage, man. Like, you don't get this perfect world where Ethereum goes up and your coin is always outperforming no matter what. You don't get that because it'd be too easy and there's no chaos and randomness of that. Instead, what happens is, and there's no FOMO. Instead, what happens is Ethereum goes up and up and up and up and up, hits a point where it stops, and then wherever the capital is going to disperse, it all rushes in. And then everything acts as leverage on each other, and it basically changes the whole sentiment of the market. It doesn't last forever, but the gains do get explosive relative to Ethereum. That's the most important part. So back in 2020, friends, Ethereum did, from this point 4 years ago, Ethereum went on to do an 11x. All right? 11. So if your coin did 15x, you killed it because you got 50% on top of Ethereum. That was from the others ETH ratio. All right? So if you did 15 or 20x, you killed it. And anything more, you did really well from exactly 4 years ago. Not measuring from the exact bottom tick, but from exactly 4 years ago. If you're a poopy trash coin, you did like 5 to 10x. That's what XRP basically did. They couldn't do anything. And many other coins, Litecoin and stuff, because they were non-Ethereum friendly. They were Ethereum haters. Okay? So right now, though, Ethereum, friends, it did 11x 4 years ago. If it did 11x now, again, it doesn't diminish, and it would flip NVIDIA. That's another problem I have with that. So maybe we do get that 4. Maybe we do get a 4x. I'm hoping we get higher. But if we get 4x, that puts Ethereum at $14,000. We know from the PulseChain sacrifice, we're all going to have fun there. So it's not all rainy days. And speaking of PulseChain, friends, everything is still in that rounded off zone. It's kind of funny, man. A lot of people, like, everyone just went absolutely ballistic for this. They're like, yes, yes. Like, we've got a long way to go. Remember the Pulse ETH ratio, friends. Like, you got to be aware of it, man. So you don't get grifted in the future. We're down 4x. We literally need, so I'm not joking. I will not be smiling. I'll be smiling, of course, but I will know, like, PulseChain, literally, friends, our break even is here. We literally need to get to 2x day one take. This is free money for every non-believer to buy. Everybody who hates Richard, hates you, thinks you're stupid, thinks you got scammed, they're literally buying cheaper price than you, and they get to buy it 3 years later. What an embarrassment, honestly, to think about. They're like, oh, well, look at that. Where's my delay gratification for that? That's how everyone's feeling, or how everyone's feeling. But that's pretty much it. That's why, friends, if you get destroyed on this ETH ratio, that's why XRP is a grift. Okay, just to show you, XRP is a grift. Why? Because it can't catch up with Bitcoin and Ethereum. But, you know, they're Ethereum haters, so it's pretty much just looking at Bitcoin. And you can see the chart right here. They're just dumping the inflation, and XRP from August 2017, you're down 70%, man. You're literally down 70% against, but you're down, wow, man, this is disgusting. You're down like 80%. So if you put one Bitcoin into XRP back then in August 2013, all right, you don't have 1 Bitcoin worth of value right now. You only have 0.2 Bitcoin worth of value. You've literally lost value. I was like, oh, well, it's up. It's up over time. Yeah, the USD price, it's a scam, friends. It's a scam. Bitcoin is the monetary base of all of crypto. If you're losing value against the monetary base, you're getting destroyed. Okay, it's literally like someone takes your US dollars and it just gives you a shitty token, and the token goes down. You're like, wait a minute, You're meant to be a better system. I took on more risk outside the US dollar, the fiat currency, and I can't even have the same purchasing power. Like, oh, well, you got the token. You got the token. Okay, so you have to think smarter. You can't let these people just always try to one-up you. But you know, most people are going to get one-upped. And baby dolls, right now, as I'm recording, I've just seen this pop up. There's been some breaking news. Ethereum, 292,000 Ethereum was transferred from a wallet to Coinbase. So what does that mean? Well, because you have the Ethereum Spot ETF, it could be they're moving money for the market makers and all these other things to make sure they're ready to buy. That's one possibility. Okay. Another possibility is we're all about to get destroyed, and someone is just using Ethereum's the Spot ETF as liquidity to exit. Could be that. I don't know. I guess we'll find out soon. Also, shout out to Kaleo. Betting on Ethereum this cycle is starting to feel like betting on Litecoin last cycle. So don't say that too loud because my neighbor loves Litecoin, of course, friends. So basically, he's talking about third cycle curse. He can feel like something's wrong. It's just not moving like it used to. Go, yeah, man, it's third cycle curse. Third cycle curse, friends. Third cycle stuff, they literally only move after Bitcoin retail mania comes. They only do the big move by that. And that's by the ratios, you can tell that. All right, so ETH BTC ratio is still down from 2017. We'll see. We'll see what plays out. Now, friends, Bitcoin cycle stuff. Okay, the first Bitcoin cycle topped out 365 days after the Bitcoin halving. But the second and the third cycle topped out 550 days after the halving. Our cycle would be a blessing if it tops out April 2025 alongside altcoins, because that's 365 days. Now, obviously, blessing, yeah, you want it to go longer forever, but yeah, you also want to go as parabolic as you can. So obviously, it's not up to us, but those are basically the dates you're looking at. And if you want to have a check here, it's basically all anywhere in 2025. Okay, so this is around, so if you want to go 365 days, it's exactly here, friends. See this arrow here? This arrow, that's one of the arrows. And then the other one is around this, October date. This is where the Bitcoin halving date is. But you never know, man. It's somewhere in this zone. There's all these other dates. We've got no freaking idea. That's Bitcoin top out, cycle top out. But remember, like we've done our research, right? Knowing this isn't enough, because we know about the alt seasons and how much of a scam altcoins are compared to how easy it was 8 years ago. So we know from the others BTC ratio, which is just ticking down again here, we know from this that there's 2 alt season waves, and you are not guaranteed that your altcoin pumps in the second wave. I mean, 90% topped out in the first one. Okay, so we're just going to be watching that closely. Now, throwing some news your way, friends. There's some fake news out here. This is fake news. Just in, corrupt chairman Gary Gensler expected to resign by Feb 2025. So this was posted by some dude, Marcus. Look at this, Kobe. Marcus is the guy that said the Bitcoin ETF was going to be rejected for sure, like 3 days before it was approved. So I don't know. I think this guy's just making fake news and stuff all the time. But you can tell it's like this fan fiction dream for everybody to get Gary Gensler fired, which obviously we hope he does get fired, but we know, man, it's more to do with the liquidity cycle than anything. These are just news planted, but we need someone to hate. Just give me something to hate. So we need something to... look, I'll tell you right now, friends, if Gary Gensler, the Seaman Demon, was pro altcoins and they were all accepted, they were all great, I promise you we would have the exact same prices, okay? We would have the exact same prices because it's all got to do with the liquidity index. The only thing that changes the crypto price is that cycle, the cyclical nature from the money printer, okay? That's pretty much what it's all come down to. Bitcoin, altcoins, and everything else in between. But we don't want the population knowing that, do we? We want them to think it's the news. Here's the thing, friends. Even if I spend every day telling you it's got nothing to do with the news, right? It's all these other greater fundamental forces at play. Even though I say that every day, when the news comes, everyone throws out everything I said. They forget. They go, oh, but you talk about this news. This is the one news. And how are we going to use it to advantage? I don't know. People will be dancing naked, eating jelly beans, glitter on their face, doing handstands, perhaps next year sometime, saying, this is never stopping. Then it stops. But look, man, like I told you, all right, a 20x was considered a phenomenal win 4 years ago. 20. Okay, you literally killed it. And then it dropped 70% in 14 days, by the way. So then you had to get out, which you wouldn't have gotten out at the 20x. It dropped 70% because of China's scam, the scam dumping, and it was all over. One of the worst bull market ever, pretty much by comparison. Hopefully this one's better. Now you got to think, right? If 20x was 4 years ago, 20x was the big winner, and now 8x is this one's winner. You got to think. By the way, are you going to click sell at 8x? No, you're not. I know for a fact no one's clicking sell at 8x. No way anyone's clicking sell at 8x. No chance in hell from today. But you know, if that's the top of your coin, the next stop is 70% down in 60 to 90 days. So now you're back down only 2-3x from here. I know, friends, it's tough, man. It's tough, but that's it. That's crypto. That's the numbers, okay? That's 100,000 coins out here. It's getting tougher and tougher. That's why don't believe people when they talk about this decentralization bullshit dream. Like, yeah, bro, you got in early. Congratulations, okay? You got in early. The game's infinitely harder right now. You wouldn't be able to make your riches right now if you got in on a calendar date earlier than everyone else. That's it. Being early is most important, friends. And hopefully we get some friendship on our side. Now, I have a chart here of the gold ETF because the Ethereum ETF is coming out. Look what happened with gold ETF. Gold ETF was approved and then it rallied 130%. Up to $1,000. Now, it actually went up higher than this, friends. Remember, gold went up to like $2,000 after this, but this was the 2008. This is 2008. This is the GFC. This is the global financial crisis, right? See how gold went down, liquidity crunch as well. So I was just showing you, but it had this big, started running up, never came back, all right? So gold ETF was approved, and then it pumped gold 130%. The Bitcoin ETF approval matching would give us roughly 80 to 100K zone before poop. So I just did 130% on that. And I'm like, okay, well, what would that be? That's interesting if it would work out, like the gold spirit. Gold topped out because the US market experienced early GFC jitters. So, man, it'd be wild, friends. Imagine we are like between 80 to 100K by the end of this year. And, you know, the US Fed is expected to do its first cut in September. And the yield curve's uninverting right now, by the way. I'll just have a quick check at it now. So this is it now, friends. Now, this is the 2s, 10s. So the yield curve, they're using like the 1 month. I think they're using like the early month, whatever. But this is like really, really, really close. Just to let you know, when they start cutting, that's the doom part, okay? So if you look at this, like the yield curve inversion, it means the economy is weaker. That's pretty much it. The insiders know something bad's coming. And then look, this is when they cut rates, the doom part. This is 1991 recession. This is 2001. This is GFC. This is the tech bubble burst. And this is September 11, all right? This is the GFC. This is zombie virus. You see these? These are all crises. Okay, this one was US debt defaulting. This was like the US debt default scare, I believe, around here. Oh, no, this is the European crisis. So something's coming, okay? And it uninverts. Why? Because they cut rates when they start cutting rates. They're expected to cut rates in September. We'll see. It would be crazy, right? Imagine Bitcoin goes to that 80 to 110K zone, and then we have that first crisis just to kind of mimic it. That'll be beautiful. Remember, after gold, this is interesting as well. When gold, after its event thing, sent it down again, all right, it went and broke the high by 2x. So what I'm thinking, like, it'd be crazy if that happens. Imagine Bitcoin goes to 110 or 120K by the end of this year, but then it crashes back down to 70 or 80 because there's economy jitters in the world, in USA. But then, like the gold ETF, it breaks that 120 by the 2x. I actually show it to you on the chart. Right here. So if it was to mimic gold, friends, if it was to mimic gold, gets to this 80, 110K zone, everyone thinks, yes, yes, yes. And then some dark prophecy stuff. No, we're crashing. And then we continue by the end of the year. But then breaking this by a 2x gives you like roughly the 200K zone to look like that. That's the zone. All right, actually, like it's almost like perfect. It goes up here, has this channel up here, and then it continues up. So that'd be wonderful if we get something like that. That'd be great. This is going to be disastrous, by the way. Be careful of this part because everyone's going to think it's over. Everyone's going to think it's over, friends. Think of, like, how many times I told you, like 100K Bitcoin, it's always felt like to me the biggest round number retailer trap. It goes up 110, 120, crashes back down to 80, they all sell. They go, oh, well, we've rejected off 100K. Bitcoin 100K, I can't believe he didn't sell, it's all over. But they just truly don't understand what's going on, the money printer and everything else. Also, shout out to my friend Danny Long, not to be confused with Danny Short. So Danny Long, I've got a feeling we're going to be scammed by the Ethereum ETF this cycle. Me too, brother. It's a third cycle curse, man. Now, friends, you want some update into some deep state stuff? Okay, this is going to be interesting. The Secret Service lady is being drilled. Secret Soy Service. She can't answer any question. Okay, she's literally getting drilled.
You keep referring to the FBI. When asked how many shell casings were on the roof, you referred to the FBI. When asked if there were explosives in the car, you referred to the FBI. When asked if Crooks was acting alone, you referred to the FBI. See a common theme here? I can go on and on. My question is, who at the FBI should I speak with? Wait for it. Wait for it.
The FBI is responsible for the criminal
Is there a
investigation.
name?
This is crazy. Friends, in this interview, in this like grilling, okay, she literally asks her, how many gun shell casings were there on the Donald Trump shooter's roof? How many gun shell casings, right? Such a simple question, man. You went there, you hosed down all the evidence. We saw that, friends. Literally the FBI, the fancy bananas investigators, okay, were hosing down everything on the roof. Of course, okay, why are you hosing down the evidence? All right, because you counted how many gun shells there were, right? All right, sweet. How many gun shells were there? How dodgy is that? You can't even answer how many gun shells there were. That's disgusting. Like, you can count the number of bullets in the video. Whatever it was, 3, 4, or 5, whatever it was. There should be that many number of bullet casings on the roof. Unless there was another shooter. All right, so why can't you answer? That's such a simple question. Why can't you answer? You go, I don't know. Why can't you just say, look, I've only seen one report. We found 2 so far. They couldn't even say that. Didn't even say that. Why are they doing that, friends? What they're doing is they're working out all the kinks. They're working out, hey, we got to get this story, find the holes in this story before they release all of it out. So obvious. She even says here, McLean even says to her, Cheadle, she goes, what are you covering up? What are you hiding, my friend? And I've got more for you, friends, as well. This lady gets grilled even harder.
Today, Miss Cheadle.
I will do the best to provide you accurate information based on the facts that I have at this time.
Liar.
You're not answering our questions. The advance element coordinates with other intel or law enforcement partners, identifies threats and weaknesses at the sites and movements. We'd like a copy of the advance report. Have you brought it here with you today?
We will comply with the request for the documentation that has been requested.
When will that be, Miss Cheadle? Because you should have brought it today.
I am certain that our personnel are working on.
Like, man, friends. Like, how many times do you cucks, you sheep, need to see people who are so smart to network and understand these positions of power and understand, friends, they can count the pubes on your genitals. That's how much spying and stalking they've done, okay? They are so aware and basically capable to do all of that. But then when it comes to mysteriously, seemingly planned conspiracy stuff, it's always incompetence. Oh, man, sorry. You know what I mean? I just totally didn't know how to do my job. You mean the only job you were given? Yeah, sorry, that was the only job I was given. Okay, well, yeah, that was the only job I was given. I'm just sorry. How, man, how? They're not going to answer. They'll never answer. They never answer. By the way, I mean, just the best example, like, you're a farmer, your sheep have been killed, all right, and there's a blood trail leading out to the forest. You go to the forest, you find the fox, you go and interview the fox. You go, hey, Mr. Fox, I would like you to investigate who killed the sheep. Mr. Fox, of course, says to you, I'll find you the answer. To be determined. You know, could be anyone. Could have been the donkey. Could have been the flying goose. Come on, man. Like, what can you do there? What can you do? Well, friends, even though you see all these, right? This is the sad part as well, by the way. In this interview, in this grilling, they asked her, they go, okay, how did the gunman know where to go up and shoot? How'd they know that? They go, okay, it was a drone. All right, sweet. They asked her, what time did he fly the drone? She goes, can't tell you. What do you mean you can't tell us? Okay, so you know he flew a drone. Give us the minutes and the time. Exactly from what time to what time did he scout the area? Can't tell you. Okay, literally, she says this whole thing, friends. She can't tell you.
It's at 6:11 p.m.
See?
5:28, AGR Sniper 1 takes a picture of a bicycle and 2 bags. Those belong to crooks.
So she also goes on to mention that everybody gets filtered. Everyone gets scanned for every single item at these rallies. All right. Yet for some reason, this kid walks in with a rifle, a ladder, and a gun, and a rangefinder. All right. Yeah, it's just totally random. Oh, golly gee, did we roll a 6 19,000 times in a row? Oh, golly gee, it's just, you know, what's your luck? What are the chances of that happening? So, friends, even though we're looking at all these, we know, man, we know. So if you're on the sidelines, people hear this like, what can we do? What can we do? You get long crypto. you get long crypto. That's literally, friends, the only way to speculate on this stuff is to be long on crypto. Now, you can be long on the stock market index, but that's pretty crappy. You're getting 8% per year. So after about 10 years, you'll get a 2x. All right. Not financial advice. Go buy the government bonds like they want you to. Blah, blah, blah. Go speak to a financial advisor who's probably poorer than all of us combined. Okay, sweet. So when it comes to this, that's the only way to play it. Because people always ask me as well, how does longing crypto have anything to do with a planned assassination and all these other things going on? Okay. And the answer is because to do these things means undeniably, there is a deep state. There are tentacles. There are many of the families I'm not going to speak about. They have power, influence, and shadows. Okay, they never put their face on camera. They're not stupid because they know that people come and riot against them. They just change their face and everything's fine. Okay, that works in the background. Now, who's paying for them? The money printer. Okay, who's paying the workers? The money printer. Who is paying for the research? The money printer. Who's paying the journalists? The money printer. Who is paying for the media companies to make up the stories? The money printer. Why do they all comply? Because of their salaries. Where do their salaries come from? Once again, all paths lead back to the money printer from the US Fed. Okay, the money printer. That's a US dollar. They have the dominance. That's what it comes down to. Okay, so why are we in Ukraine? All the wars. Why do money goes in and why is the Middle Eastern war? Why is it the tornado cash of the US dollar? How they can literally move hundreds of billions of dollars willy-nilly and they don't have to get accounted for when they have to do stuff. Okay, why is that? Why are stuff flying around in the sky where, you know, sometimes people say, okay, some of them might be new non-human intelligence. Some of them might just literally be advanced weapon tech from the USA. We just don't want China and Russia. No. Okay, how are they funding all of that, friends? The money printer. All of it comes back to the money printer. You got to think, do you think they are going to stop all those programs? I think there is a negative 4,500% chance that they'll stop their programs. Absolutely not. Been gone for 80 years. And so much easier just to brainwash and bribe more people to tell them everything's sweet and to also pay for a distraction to come out. Like, I don't know, maybe a planned cyber attack that we recently saw. Let's just throw this stuff out just to get people distracted, okay? So all paths lead back to the money printer, friends. All of them. Every single one of them. Being long on crypto is you're long on the smallest liquidity bucket. Okay, so when water overflows from bonds, stocks, cash, and everything else, and it finally rolls over, which is like into Mr. Russell pops up, then we finally have the crypto liquidity bucket falling, and we basically go parabolic. Okay, Metcalfe's law and everything just thrashing its way through. That's what it comes down to. Okay, now that's how you participate. You're long on crypto. Now, you obviously have to decide which crypto, which coins. You know, are you going to be satisfied with just a 2x in Bitcoin? Okay, it's up to you. Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins. We do all that work of research to look for information symmetry, active communities, going on chain, all these other wonderful stuff of crypto. So that's pretty much it. It's great. You can actually speculate on this stuff now. Before crypto, you couldn't speculate on this stuff. The only way to really speculate on this stuff was basically to buy the government-approved contractors' stocks, like Lockheed Martin and Boeing and all these other stuff. That's the only way to do it. And they had decent returns, but not like life-changing returns because they own all the shares, you know what I mean? So it's a cheated system whatsoever, okay? And the market cap's already huge, relatively speaking, okay? And I just want to show you that. I'm going to show you this clip as well, friends. So last thing we'll go through, obviously there's a political pendulum shifting, okay? So it's shifting from the left, which had it for a while. Now it's going to go towards the Republican side. You have the Bitcoin, Donald Trump convention thing coming up, Bitcoin strategic reserve, all these things coming. But also one of the big parts is Elon Musk. He's one of the world's most popular men. The fact that we even speak about most of the stuff I can report, friends, it's because of Twitter. And I'll be completely honest, man. The stuff we are talking about on Twitter and the views they're getting, friends, I'm just telling you now, you keep rolling this forward for 2 years, Elon's a target, Twitter's a target. We are literally, you gotta, look what's going on. They're printing money to do all this brainwashing, and then we're undoing the brainwashing. Now, the first few years it's going to be fine because Twitter's small. The creators don't make that much on it. No one really wants to all be there. Like YouTube still has a big competitive advantage. Okay, what if Elon starts expanding like a businessman and he starts adding features and everyone's like, wow, geez, this is like real news. So just a light's going to go off. They're going to do something. Don't know what it is. Blackmail, taking Twitter down, lawsuits, all this stuff. they'll throw something out here, okay? But I want you to have a listen to this as well. So Elon Musk, right, is becoming very anti-woke. He actually says in this interview, he says, my son was tricked into being given puberty blockers. So his son, Xavier. I don't know if it's son or daughter. I don't know what the puberty blockers were for, okay? So don't come at me. Blue, red, pink hair, army. I don't know what these are. Just whatever. Just don't come at me. Just telling you. I don't know how to read. They're all just words, okay? If these words upset you, go cry in the corner. So this is translating to just the more higher odds that Donald Trump wins, which is pro-crypto, which is exactly what we want, okay? So listen to this.
I mean, well, it sort of like happened to one of my issue. It happened to one of my older boys, where I was essentially tricked into signing documents for one of my older boys, Xavier. This is before I had really any understanding of what was going on, and we had COVID going on, and so there was a lot of confusion. I was told, Xavier might commit suicide if he.
That was a lie right from the outset. No reliable clinician ever believed that. There was never any evidence for that. And also, if there's a higher suicide rate, the reason is because of the underlying depression and anxiety, and not because of the gender dysphoria. And every goddamn clinician knows that too. And they're too cowardly to come out and say it, right? And so and then we end up in exact.
Just to remind you as well, friends, remember Andrew Tate saying, he basically alluded, Jordan Peterson is one of the people, his tone has changed recently with things, which means they probably sat him down and they threatened him too. Basically like, hey, if you don't play ball, something's going to happen to you. We'll take you out. Just as fast as you came in, we'll take you out. We'll cut all your funding. You'll be a nobody again. And he's had all these public breakdowns. So let's continue.
When I saw that lie start to propagate, it just made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. It's like, I see. So you're telling parents that unless they agree to this radical transformation that their children are going to die, and you think that's moral, and you think that's true. That is so pathological that it's almost incomprehensible. I can't imagine anything worse. I can't imagine a therapist doing anything worse than that, or sitting by idly and remaining silent while his colleagues are doing it. It's pathetic.
It's incredibly evil, and I agree with you that people that have been promoting this should go to prison.
It won't stop till that happens.
Yeah, it'll
just go underground. Puberty blockers are being accessed online by kids all the time through
So they go through this in this interview. It's a very, very new interview, friends, from just hours ago. If you watch my UFO videos once again, yes, this is what's going on now, friends. Just let you know, this is a foreshadowing of what society is going to be like in 50 years. All right, it will be like that, and we are fighting the trend. Government, they got the money printer. They got the brainwashing, they got the guns, they got everything, and people, they have too much power, right? Whether it's alien controlled or deep state controlled, all those families controlled for ultimate power, it doesn't matter. The trend is obvious. The trend is this. The trend is you will, as a parent, will have not total control over what your kid can learn or label and stuff. You won't. They will find a way to introduce one thing into like a policy where they're like, if you as a parent, if you try to get your kid to unlearn this, you're going to jail. This is evil. And they've tried it with the gender stuff, the transgender stuff. They tried it with that. And that's why California, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to sneak it in. And that's how it starts, friends. That's literally the gateway. That's the gateway to hell. That's pretty much, that's the road that leads straight to hell. It's just a slippery slope right there. Once they can at least go, hey, there is a thing that parents can't impose on their children, then after that stabilizes, they introduce one thing later on. But they got to get everybody, they got to throw that in there first. They're trying to do it in the background, trying to do it out here. So obviously Elon's anti that. And it is sad to think about this 50 to 100 years of how it's going to be. But ultimately, if you don't know why it's all evil, yeah, it is, you could say it is evil. It's removing humanity. There's a definition pretty much of evil. But yeah, what's the government's reasoning going to be? Well, we got to teach kids how to be friends. They're teaching everyone to be a robot pretty much. Where it's like, hey, accept the message, swallow all the brainwashing, Don't question the narrative. We want perfect soldiers. We want perfect citizens. Don't question stuff, follow orders, and the power always goes up there. And that's pretty much it. And you know what? Maybe resistance is futile. Maybe in 1,000 years, well, it turns out, this is what needed to be happened. But right now, they're not bribing us enough. No. Sweet. So, friends, yeah, even if I know, I go, you know what? Maybe maybe the resistance is futile. But right now, you're a cuck if you follow. You're a cuck. Where's the bribes? Okay, where's the bribes? Pump my crypto bags up first. Let me and my baby dolls, who like and subscribe, let us retire first. Okay? Let us smash it first. Then you can start to introduce this stuff. Because here's the thing, friends. Like, obviously, they should never be able to introduce this stuff. But you know how easy it is, man. 95% of the population has to keep working till they're dead, till they drop dead. So they're obviously just going to be brainwashed. You're like, come on. They got brainwashed for like, hey, take another 15 jabs. This one might work. Nothing is out of bounds for these people. Okay, not even people. Okay, so they're literally the reptilian, bug eater, bug overlord, bug worshipper scam. So we're seeing all these things, friends. They're all running concurrently. Ultimately, the crypto cycle, though, where does that fit in? Nice and neat. It does fit in nice and neat. Let's see where we go. Remember, you look at all these dates. Where's the cycle going to top out? Somewhere in 2025. That's what it comes down to. We're going to be waiting for those exotic top signals. Hopefully they hit. Like and subscribe. Catch you in the next one.